Hello, everyone. I'm Shirley Higuchi, chair of the Heart Mountain, Wyoming Foundation. Thanks for tuning in for a reading of Setsuko's Secret, my book that's coming out this fall. This week, we're going to be talking about panic, the panic that erupted after the bombing of Pearl Harbor and the signing of Executive Order 9066. Thanks for tuning in. My maternal grandfather, Yoshiro Saito, was working in his Oakland store, the Golden Pagoda, when he heard about the attack on Pearl Harbor. He called my grandmother at home, and Fumi knew that any man with a Japanese face was at risk of being attacked by an angry mob. She grabbed my mother, who was 10, and her two brothers, 12-year-old Al and 8-year-old Hiroshi, and headed for Oakland. My grandmother knew that escorting my grandfather with 3 children would protect him because she believed that vigilantes would not hurt a family with small children. When we finally got over to Oakland, Al remembered, my mother had a very brisk walk, and she told us not to look even left or right, just walk straight ahead and follow quickly. They found Yoshiro and escorted him home without incident. Fears of violence against Japanese citizens were confirmed almost immediately by actions taken of FBI agents, who had long tracked suspected Japanese American saboteurs or spies. They swooped in to detain community leaders such as Buddhist priests, members of pro-Japan groups, and men such as Raymond Uno's father, Clarence Uno, the secretary of the San Gabriel Valley Japanese Association, who spent most of his days helping local farmers translate documents and navigate U.S. bureaucracy. The FBI, which had already detained Clarence's older brother, George, soon descended on Clarence's home, witnessed by 10-year-old Raymond, who saw the bulge of a gun in one agent's pocket. The agents took 16 receipt books from the San Gabriel Valley Japanese Association, lists of Japanese American organizations, a copy of 10 Proverbs for a Good Life, a pamphlet for a Showa Japanese textbook, and 2 copies of a family census. Clarence Uno remained free, however, while other Japanese Americans, such as his brother, would spend years at FBI detention centers without trial. The main criterion for FBI detention was a person's status in the community, so Buddhist priests, teachers, community group leaders, and others were taken away, which effectively decapitated the Japanese American population when it needed its elders the most. Fear surged through the Japanese American community during the weeks between the attack and the executive order. In Southern California, Bacon Sakatani's mother put away anything Japanese and placed a picture of Abraham Lincoln on the mantle. Inside my grandparents' farmhouse in San Jose, my grandmother Higuchi stuffed large newsprint photographs of Emperor Hirohito in the wood-burning stove, along with anything else that indicated loyalty to Japan. She wanted FBI agents who came knocking on her front door to see an all-American home. My grandfather Higuchi had already noticed signs of vandalism around the 14.25-acre raspberry farm, and a family owning a neighboring land had already asked whether the Higuchis wanted to sell their farm. Around San Jose, other Japanese farmers felt the same pressure. My grandmother Chirie had a right to worry. No person of Japanese descent living on the West Coast could count on the white politicians to save them. The signing of Executive Order 9066 and the imminent expulsion of the Japanese Americans thrust Setsuko into a reality for which she was not prepared. Perhaps this was the seed for her future passion for real estate and home buying. Being yanked from her home, losing her possessions, and being tossed into a prison camp proved to her how important it was to have a home of your own, and that could never be taken away. Adding to the pressure she must have felt was the reality that Setsuko's beauty was in many ways a commodity for her father that was expected to contribute to the family's success. In the Japanese American community, as in Japan, marriage to the right family would help further one's own family, and that message was constantly pressed upon my mother. Executive Order 9066 heightened the pressure that was already there for her. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Next week, I'll be reading the afterword from my book, Setsuko's Secret, written by Irene Hirano Inoue. Irene passed away last month, and she left a wealth of information and support that she has given Heart Mountain over the years. We miss her terribly, and we hope this reading will be a tribute to the dedication she's had for our foundation. See you next week.